Welcome back, everyone. This is Akinar here with more Baba Is You. Let's go ahead and jump right in here to Crushers, because I think I figured it out. I think the thing that I was overlooking before, we had talked a little bit about text stacking, and I had come to the conclusion that it was not possible, or that it wasn't helpful. If it was possible, I was completely missing how I was supposed to have it help me. But the thing that I was overlooking, let me go ahead and it's very difficult for me to talk and puzzle at the same time, but I'll see if I can do it here. The thing that I was overlooking, first of all, I had forgotten that we are able to transform this belt. I really wasn't even thinking about that as a possibility, but there's nothing stopping us from transforming the belt. Furthermore, one of the lessons that we learned quite some time ago, we haven't really utilized it a whole lot, but we have learned a lesson that having two things on top of another, two things stacked that are both shift, is the equivalent of a move. So now let's go ahead and let's bring this all back down here. I should have just brought text with me, but that's fine. Having two things that are shifting each other is essentially the same as a move. And that is the thing that I was overlooking. I'm making this a little bit more complicated than it needs to be. Hold on a second here. Because the thing that I need to have is I need to have access to push. And I think this is the word that we actually want to stack with belt. And we want to say that belt is text. So now we have two stacked pieces of text. And what we can do with those, I think we don't need this word anymore. I think we can live without belt, because what we can simply do is say, I think we need to get this all in position though. So let's go ahead and put this here. And then I think we can simply position these here. Now we have one more step that I forgot about, because really the big obstacle here is the word weak. This is what's been blocking us. However, I think we can use this method to get it out of the way. Because what we can do is we can say text is shift, and now as I wait, which I think is spacebar. Oh, no, it does work. Okay, I thought for a second it wasn't going to work because it wasn't shifting the skull right away, but that's because the shift here is happening first, and you're not going to have a shift in the skull until the subsequent. Yeah, there's going to be a shift that happens because, yeah, it's the way that the time steps are sequenced. The shift is not going to happen until you're actually seeing the skull on top of the text. And if we keep following this out, I think we can just go all the way until we're in that position. Because now, I don't think I need text is shift anymore. I think I can break that. And now, the other thing that I had completely ignored, and one of the things I really need to be, I've tried to be better about asking myself as I've been playing the game is, why is the level set up the way it is? And in particular, there is a space right here underneath this move, which gives us the ability to break this phrase. So now, skull facing Kiki is no longer move, and we have the ability to move in this corridor now, which means we can say level is text. We do have to go all the way back around here, but that's no big deal because now I think that's a win in the sense that we now have the level keyword available in this section. Okay, awesome. That's a great start to things. Finally seeing the light on puzzles it is so satisfying when you finally do get there. But goddamn, it can be frustrating. It can be frustrating when you're not seeing it in the middle of a play session, and it can also be frustrating as you are editing it later and seeing how stuck you were and how obvious it seems in retrospect. I think that one was not particularly obvious because it does rely, one of the things in a game like this where you have so many different mechanics and tricks that you can use, like stacking two things and letting them shift each other, We haven't used that trick in a very long time, and the game, when it calls upon it, having to use that, you have to be able to go into your tool belt and bring that out of storage. Okay, we now have access to level. What can we do? We can say a couple things here. We can say rock is level, which maybe we should do that first. We could also say Baba is level. I kind of want to see what happens with rock is level, just to see. I have a feeling it's going to be similar to the triple question mark Flower Island place, where each of these objects, the 2 Babas and the 1 rock, are going to be their own bonus levels. Let's find out. That is bonus level 2. We have this extra here. I'm assuming this is an extra on the other side once we can make it around to this. This is the extra or bonus 1. I don't remember exactly the naming scheme sometimes, but this is the bonus level 2. I guess we can just go ahead and say, we could still say that Baba is level, right? Because we can push rock here now, and then we can push this down, and we can say that Baba is level. And I would assume, my guess would be, that you would get 3 and 4 from these Babas. There we go. So we have our extra puzzles to solve. This also has the effect of giving us access to the key, because now we can go in here. We have now opened things up. This is what I was trying to focus on this part, because I knew if we could get past this little hurdle, then we would have a lot more options to play around with. So now we have level 4, we have bonus 2, 3, and 4. What else could we possibly do? There is this grass keyword, which we will have access to once we're able to beat 4. So I think that's going to be our next thing to focus on. Except I might need to, I don't actually need to reset because push can go into there. And I can just get my cursor over here. And I think let's check out this level, because I am curious eventually to see if we can do other stuff. But right now, let's try to solve Collaborative Effort. Collaborative Effort is the title of our new puzzle. And we've now gone back to the mountain theme, which is one of my favorites. The mountain theme, I love how the music is so different, how it takes a very long time building into things. Let's see if we can digest what's going on with this puzzle now. Baba is you, but Kiki could be you. Flag is win. Skull is defeat. Wall is stop. Text is pull. They're giving us access to text is pull. And we have 2 Babas. Lava is defeat. Skull is defeat. We need to get to the flag. The flag is our win condition, and text is pull. There's not a whole lot to play around with in this level. But the fact that text is pull, I guess I'm saying there's not a lot to play around with in terms of manipulating rules. We really just have access to turning off and turning back on text being pull. So if we go up here and we switch to Kiki as you, we now also have access to the skull keyword. And when text is pull, we do have the ability to bring that off of the wall. Text is also push, so we can just bring that here. And now, but we can't. We kind of actually need to do 2 things at once here. I'm thinking maybe a few steps ahead. I'm starting to think through getting access to the skull keyword could allow us to say skull is pull, which would then allow us to bring... There's a line of 5 skulls. That would be okay, because once we get that... Once we say skull is pull, we can really start to... We can kind of like bring out the skulls to the right and then start pulling them up. The trick here, I think, is that we sort of need to do... I maybe... Let's see here. What I want... I think I actually want this. Because I want to be able to simultaneously make skull... So we put that there. I was sort of thinking ahead to the fact that when I start to... Now that Baba is you, we've transferred control back to the Babas. However, I don't want text to be pull anymore because that... Me moving back to the right is going to break Baba is you. So, let's try resetting and see. It feels like maybe the key here is just sort of synchronizing our Babas and our Kikis properly. And the level is spaced in a way that shouldn't be too hard to do. We just want maybe to rearrange text as pull. We maybe want it to read horizontally. That feels like that would be much easier for us to manipulate. So let's say it probably doesn't matter too much where it's at. It just needs to sort of be in this spot where we're going to have the ability... This should work, right? We should be able to do this like we did before. Now we get the Kikis into their alignment. Oops. Maybe that's not a huge deal because I just am going to actually put you back here. How did I do this before? How did we do this? I managed to get them lined up sort of without too much trouble. And now it's... Oh, I just need to spread them out once more, right? That's all. There we go. Now that once I get over that hurdle, now we can transfer control back. And now when I go like this, now I can break text as pull, and I can bring out my Babas. It probably is okay that I'm pushing the word pull up against the wall. That's probably okay, because what I'm going to do now is I'm going to re-enable this and bring out skull. And now we simply say skull is pull. We kind of want to move... Let's just preserve the ability to move back and forth between these if we need. Because now we should be able to... Whoops, I did the wrong thing there. Now we should be able to do this. Do this sort of deal. And now we can say skull is sync. Do one more of that. Now we say skull is sync. And there might be one last hurdle to get over. Maybe? If I say Kiki is you... How do we sequence this last bit? If skull is sync, I can't just use this Kiki to sync this. Oh, skull is still pull. So I can't even do what I wanted to. We need to disable that. So we disable... Do I want text to be pull? I don't think text being pull helps us anymore because this... The area over here on the way to the flag does not... It has too many turns. So we wouldn't be able to pull text through here to sync the skull using text. But if we do that, I can't transfer control back to Baba. That is my... I think that is my dilemma. So how do we do this? Because one of the things we... Oh, it may not actually be that difficult because we can just... That's how we do this, right? So Baba is you. Now we go ahead and we sink the skull. And now I can use the remaining Baba to transfer control back to Kiki. And now that gets us to the flag. And that should be a win. Okay, awesome. Not too bad. Didn't get stuck in any overcomplications there. That one felt pretty... Had a pretty smooth flow to it. Love it when that happens with a puzzle. Let's move on to number 5. We'll worry more about meta progression here. Well, let me just think a little bit about how we might get to the flag. In order to get to the flag, we sort of need to remove the Babas, don't we? We sort of need... We need the Babas to not just turn into levels, right? If we turn Baba into... If we turn Baba into levels... Baba is already push. If we turn Baba into a level, we can't just push... If level was push, maybe we could do what I'm trying to do. But let's do this again to be sure. Baba being level, the skull can't move by. The skull or any other object that is you cannot simply move by levels. Which kind of, I think, implies, actually, if we think about the sort of... there are some implicit rules that are never spelled out on the board. You're just supposed to intuit them, things like text being push. And I think one of these maybe is that level is stop. That could be a thing. How do we get by to flag is win? Because I am curious to see what happens when we get to flag is win. What would that look like? Is that where grass comes into play? That might be it. We just kind of need grass to come into play, don't we? Does that mean that we have to solve... Because if we had access to the grass keyword, we could say Baba is grass. There's nothing else involving grass on the board, so it's probably as simple as that. And I'm just overthinking at the moment. So maybe we will focus on 5 and see what happens, because maybe something else opens up from 5. Because if we don't solve 5, can we actually get to the word grass? Can we actually do that from this point? Let's say we open this. Once again, my skull, the skull cannot actually pass through here. And can I even get my cursor out of here? Maneuvering in this way is definitely something that you are not trained to do most of the game. So, for the moment, for the sake of my not overcomplicating things, let's just move on to the next level, Living Lands. We'll keep thinking about how to get access. We got to get access to some grass. We don't have grass in this level here, but we do have hedge in the Living Lands. Living Lands. We have me is you. I think we've had that before. One of our favorite Baba-isms. Me is you. Hedge is stop. We also have level is you. That I don't think we've had before. Level is you. Oh no. What in the world? What? Oh. Oh. Because level is you, that means that everything in the level counts as you. And so if flag is win, that's included in the level. Flag is part of the level. Let's look at that again here. That is fascinating. I was thinking ahead. I was starting to think what happens when we move level all the way to the edge. I guess let's find that out. What does happen? Does it actually change things? Like I'm moving the text "me as you" off of our screen, theoretically, but it actually doesn't seem to have any effect. Okay. Like, is there any limit to this? I'm still moving to the right. Let's try moving back to the left now. I don't think there's any limit, because I moved quite a ways off to the right and it did not, like, it doesn't destroy anything. Everything is still intact. It's just out of our field of vision. Okay. So what I'm thinking is we should be able to do other stuff here, right? Maybe not. My initial instinct was to say that wall is you. I could say wall is me, because I think we can do something with level. This is the meta puzzling now we have to play, right? So we have to think about, especially when you get such an easy win, that's just like a layup dandelion. What would, I think transforming the level into something that's not, if we were able to transform the level into a me, similar to grass, me, the keyword me, is not present on this. It's not present on the depths, which means that me is not stopped and we would have access to grass. I think that's our goal here, is to try to meta puzzle living lands into saying level is me. We don't want to say level is wall, because wall is actually stop in the depths. I suppose we could also say maybe, I don't think we can actually say level is flag, because flag is positioned inside of the hedges in a way that I don't think we could get it out. But I think we should be able to say wall is me and then level is me. The only challenge here is going to be doing things in such a way where you can actually see them happening. And maybe it's not that big of a deal, because you're not really screwing things up if you go off of the board. So at any time, we can always just kind of shift things back into view, I think. Assuming that me is up against the wall. So maybe we can put this over here, just to kind of, this is such a weird sliding things into position. But I think, oh, okay. The difficulty now that I'm seeing, there is a difficulty or there is a problem with this. Because how do I actually say wall is me without saying wall is, because I don't think I actually want to break me is you. Even if I do that, the game doesn't stop. I can still move the level around, but I can't actually maneuver any of the text because everything moves together. So maybe I can't say wall is me. If I say wall is you, that is something I could say. I could say wall is you, but, oh, and then wall is no longer stop. That's how you break that. And now what we could do is we can now shift this phrase back to say, me is you. So I think we can still say level is me? Question mark? The problem is I pushed a lot of things up against the edges of the map now, and I might not be able to quite do what I want. So there might be a smarter way to do this. Probably is a smarter way to do this. Can I still win from this spot? Can I still win from this spot? If I say wall is you again, maybe? I don't think that actually helps me, though. I want to say level is me. But if I try to do that now, if I try to bring this over here, I can't shift to... Oh, never mind. I can. That's because we still have something that is you. And just because level is no longer you, you haven't lost. So we can say level is me. Oh my gosh. It is so funny how your brain just has these little assumptions that can accumulate so quickly without you even realizing it. Fortunately, this is not too complicated of a puzzle to where we are unable to proceed. So we have managed to, there we go, we can get past the level. And now we have access to our cursor again. I'm wondering if we would have been able to get unstuck from that. There was a way to get unstuck. Actually, I'm not sure. Anyway, that is beside the point. We'll worry about that maybe some other day. We have access to grass. That was our next stage of trying to figure out the meta puzzle here, because now we can go ahead and say that Baba is grass. And now we can get out and say flag is win. What is going to happen? Oh, shit. There is our level 5. Okay, I never would have guessed that that's where we get our level 5 from. Oh my god. Can I just move there right now? No. Dust is still stop. So I have to find a way to break the dust, but that shouldn't be too bad. We can just say dust is push, I think. Okay. I was gonna be so surprised if there was not actually a level 5. I really wouldn't have guessed that that's how that would connect. So let's take stock of things now. This is amazing. It's also, at the same time, it's really cool. I love discovering this stuff. It's also a little bit disappointing because I was thinking, or I was maybe hoping, that flag is win would take us to like another layer of levels. Because now, if we sort of take a step back and we start to take stock of where we are in the game, are we now, is the end now in sight? I wonder, have we now gotten to where we can actually complete every single puzzle in the game? Because we've already completed every single puzzle in this stage, the original world map. The only potential mystery, which I can't say definitively, there's this little dotted line that comes out of the bonus level. And it has not, we collected this bonus orb a long time ago. And it has felt like it's really just for fun. Because so far I have not found anything in the game that would suggest that this is needed to unlock something. That this is sort of like, we had these locks over certain parts of this map that you needed to get the daisies for. But I've never seen anything like that for the orb. So I don't know if this is supposed to be a thing here. We're getting to that stage now where I might need to rely on some people who know the game to be able to maybe give just a little bit of a nudge or direction to say whether or not we are at the end. We have content to do still. So we go back to the depths here. Is there any other way to potentially, there's obviously the bonus levels that we have. We can transform Rock into level. We can transform Baba into level. Those are there to be had. So there's plenty of bonus levels. There is, could we potentially say flag is level? I don't think I can maneuver the level keyword out to that point. But maybe, no, we can't even, I was thinking for a second we might be able to say level is flag. But I was thinking I might do that here because I could push is and flag into this part, but I can't push level down here. Are there any other, I don't think I can actually bring any text. I can't bring any text out here, can I? So the only thing to do out here is flag is win, I think. I might need to think this through a little more, but for now, I feel like the end is in sight and we're just kind of working through the rest of the puzzles here. Which is a little, it's always fun to get to the end of the game, but it's also kind of, wow, did we finally make it through Baba Is You? We haven't made it yet. We got puzzles to solve. So as I am sitting here taking stock and just kind of thinking through how things are playing out, where do we want to go next? Where do we want to go next? Let's maybe look at fresh puzzles. Let's look at what we have that is fresh content. We're going to go ahead and we're going to say what we did before. Baba is grass. We're going to say Baba is grass so that we can go all the way around here. I need to bring the cursor with me, don't I? I need to bring this cursor with me because I need to be able to go around here all the way to the bonus level 1. What is this is for? Why is there an is here? See, that is, okay, I should not jump to conclusions about this being the end of the game because we have so many levels yet to look at. And who knows what could be in places like Priority Lane. Who knows, there might be more transformation of levels here. So I really need to be careful about getting ahead of myself and thinking we're almost done with the game because who knows? We could just be still scraping the surface. Let's just keep one step at a time here and check out the level depths extra 1 Priority Lane. This is an interesting looking puzzle. Baba is you and flag is win. That's almost always the case. Let me get a quick hydrate here as I'm looking things over. So the flag is behind a bunch of belts. And right now we cannot transform the belts, but we can deactivate belt is push as well as belt is shift. We also have some water, which is sink. Text is not float, so we will almost certainly be using some of this text to break the water. Maybe we can use one of our is keywords because we get an and. So doing that really doesn't change anything, at least at the moment in terms of these two phrases. It could change stuff in other ways unforeseen. But we can't get to if, so if we were to deactivate belt is push, let's go back to what we had just now. We would also, I guess, have to deactivate. All right, I'm seeing what the naive solution here that I'm just starting. Let's start off and see how do we just naively get to the flag. I could make belt not shift and not push. I go down here. However, going down here turns box into Kiki, and Kiki is move. And as soon as Kiki, oh, I see. It's not even, I thought Kiki might be pushing the skulls, but skulls are not push, they are shift. So we actually have a bit of a kind of a race situation here now between Baba and Kiki is clearly winning that race to deactivate flag is win. So we're kind of starting at the same column. So even if we were to... Even if we could somehow re-enable belt speed shift at this point, I think we would still lose. Because in this case, a tie goes to the Kiki. I think. Because flag is win would be deactivated as simultaneously with us reaching the flag. Which I think doesn't result in a win. So how do we solve this? Wall is stop. We kind of need the skulls not to be shift. At least that would make things a lot easier if that was the case. But can we do that? I could maybe say that belt is skull, but that is a problem because there is a piece of... Let's go ahead and just rewind this. There is a section of belt at this spot, which if I did make belt skull, I would not be able to get past that skull. Also, we cannot transform the belt. Belt is belt, so that is not even a possibility. So I am not immediately seeing where do we want to focus our mental efforts here to come to a solution. How do we do this? Is this simply a mechanical thing? Am I... Maybe... Is there some clever way that we can change this phrasing? This box is Kiki. Is there some way that we can do like an and that would change how this works? It's not immediately clear that we can. Let's reset and just take another look at things and how they appear before we start. Water is sink. We cannot say water is push, can we? And I don't think we can make anything else sink. Wall is stop, so we can't change any of these rules on the outside. Like many puzzles that we've had before, this is one of those where, at least in the early stages, in the early few minutes of looking at this, I'm not immediately having an idea of, okay, let's try this. I'm sort of already at this like, huh, what? Which is very different from what we had with the level 4, which kind of just flowed. Sometimes puzzles just have that flow where you start doing things and they just work. This is one of those where I'm not even sure what things we would do. Because if I use the and, if I am trying to use the and to modify the phrase box is Kiki, the only thing I could potentially use with that would be belt. And that doesn't actually change the phrase, right? It just adds belt is Kiki, which is not valid, but box is Kiki still resolves. So I don't know that the puzzle is about trying to break that phrase. Maybe that is just going to happen no matter what. And Kiki is going to be move. The skulls are going to be shift, right? Is there something creative that we need to do, kind of like we did with the Crusher's meta puzzle where we had 2 pieces of text that were stacked? Belt is shift. There's an and here. Why are they giving us this and? Why is this and here? What does this allow us to do? If I put the and here, I don't feel like that helps us. Because any phrase that I might make, belt is shift and. Let's back this up and just look at what happens when belt is shift and push. Because I didn't really try anything with those being active because I sort of just discounted it as a possibility. Because if belt is push, we can't get to the flag, right? Right? Does it, however, it doesn't screw with this phrase. Can it help us screw with any sort of phrases? Is there some sort of... We don't really have access to... Can I push this belt out here somewhere where I can do some funky stuff with it? I feel like I'm getting drawn into overcomplication territory very quickly here. Because whatever simple idea or whatever idea is going to look simple in retrospect, it just hasn't dawned on me yet. I guess we should just try the quote-unquote naive solution, which from the beginning I was assuming we should always test our assumptions, not just assume that Kiki is going to win the race to the flag, or that I'm not going to get... Let's see what happens if we put that belt there, and then we disable belt is push. And now, do we in fact lose the race, as I assumed? Yes, okay. The assumption was correct, but we've at least tested it. Because we're kind of still at a point here where we should just be trying the simple things. How do we get around this? Or what are we supposed to be? Is there some way we have access to belt is shift, belt is push, and there's an and. How does the and factor into things? We can't transform the belts. We can't say that... We can't say that belt is box or belt is skull. But also, because the and, or because... I'm not sure what to do with this and, because this here, this skull is shift. If we could say that belt or skull is shift and belt, even that wouldn't help us, would it? Dang, what am I missing here? What the hell am I... Where do we even start? How is this and important? What does the and let me do? How does it impact... If I am simply going down here and activating this box's Kiki, it's game over, even if the belt is shift. Kiki's going to win the race. So it feels like we have to prevent this transformation? But if that's the case, I don't see how we do that either. We have no way... The text keyword is not on this board, so we're not able to say something like text is not push or something. We are very limited in our options here, it feels like. But it is totally not occurring to me what we're meant to do. There's something that's going to look simple in retrospect that I am just not seeing at the moment. And it probably involves this "and" in some creative way, but I am really having trouble seeing beyond. The only things I can think about, the only ideas that are coming to mind are ones like transforming the belt, which is something we cannot do. And the other idea was to use the "and" in a way to modify the phrase "box is Kiki," but I can't, it doesn't work like that. Is there a way? I can't put any text to the right of box. Water is sink, but I can't change where the water is, can I? I can't say water is push. But I could sink a couple more things if I wanted to, but why would I want to remove any of these words here? It's these words that I would like to remove. If I could remove skull is shift, if I could break this in some way, how can I break skull is shift? I don't have an on keyword. On would be very nice, but that's not something we have access to. On would let us probably modify box is Kiki. We could say something on box is Kiki. That would really... But then I couldn't get to the flag, could I? The other problem with this board is the positioning of how things work out. I don't have a way to get actually to the flag other than through this corridor. Because Wallace stop. I think I've hit my limit for this moment, and because this is an extra puzzle, let's not devote too much time and energy to this. We'll let this one sit for now. We'll try to hit it with the fresh brain. But that is definitely a stumper off the bat. Now, the navigation is going to become a little bit cumbersome here because we're going to have to go all the way back around by transforming Baba back into grass. So let's go ahead and quickly do that here. And now we can go around. Maybe it's not that cumbersome. It just feels a little... if only there were a unlock... If only we could unlock some sort of, you know, Dark Souls-esque shortcut to get us back around much more easily. But that's not the way Baba Is You works. I guess the next step could be... Yeah, the next step, I think, should be looking at... Let's go into... Yeah, let's go to this. No, this is fine. This is fine. Going into 4, because now I think this puts my cursor. The only thing I was worried about was like resetting and putting my cursor back to the bonus level. So let's return to the map now. And now we should be able to just move skull here, and we get our cursor there. Okay. Now we want to transform rock into level, right? Because that was number 2. So let's do rock is level and check out Parade. Let's check out Parade. We don't have any, it's just the Mii's on Parade here, not any pink elephants. Dumbo reference for those who might be wondering. I don't have many references. I am not really a references person. But let's see if we can start to digest what is going on with Parade. So we have access to a few words here. Our win condition, as it looks like it normally is going to be flag. But we're going to need one of our Mii's to move down to put flag is win and complete it. Baba Is You. We have a bug. Bug is push. Right now, bug is push. Bug is Kiki, bug is me, bug is skull. Those are all possibilities. And we can also turn stuff into a Kiki. Kiki is move. So we do want... Eventually, we want to turn me into a Kiki, I think, in order to get it down there. I'm also noticing skull is swap. It's been a little while since we've dealt with swap, but it's always a bit of a mind bender when swap is in play. Where do we start? What is our first mini objective? Because I cannot simply say me is Kiki. If I do that, we also end up with a Kiki that's going to break Baba is you. So that is no good. Eventually, if we kept going, we'd also get belt is stop, which also is a bit of a... Probably also creates some other problems, but the most immediate one is losing Baba is you. So what do we do instead? We... Belt is shift, so we do have the ability to go in here. We have the ability to go into this area once, because the only way to get out is to go through this corridor and say belt is stop. We activate belt is stop, and then we can't get back in there anymore. So we could we do have access to this is. So I can say other stuff besides bug is stuff something. I could say me is skull. What does that do for me? If I say me is skull and skull is swap, it doesn't really do too much because the skull stays facing in the same direction. So that on its own doesn't really do much. There likely is some sequence of transformations here that we're meant to do. I don't think I can move the phrase Baba is you. I can't really move it out of the way of the oncoming me, or whatever this me gets transformed into. I can't rearrange this somehow, can I? I could bring in some words with me. I could bring in some text through this little passageway, but that text is going to be along the bottom wall here, and I would not be able to say something else is you, because I wouldn't be able to push that text up, would I? Swap is in play, but it's only skull is swap, so I don't think I could bring that text up. So bringing text in here doesn't actually seem useful. Let's reset. How am I... My first idea is some sort of creative sequence of transformations. What would that look like? I guess one thing I could bring with me might be this bug. I could put the bug in here. I could put the bug in that room, and then I could potentially say that bug is swap. Not bug is swap, but bug is skull. How does that work? It doesn't really work. I would need to do something else, I think, before making Bug Skull. I would need to, like, put it over here, maybe? And then I could say Bug is Skull. And then I could do something like this. But once again, I'm not... When I swap something, I don't change where it's facing. And so even if I leave... Well... Let's just see. I don't think this is going to work the way that I want it to, but we need to at least experiment, because I haven't thought this through. I don't need this, actually. I just need to say me is Kiki, but it's just going to swap once, right? All we're going to get is a swap like that. It doesn't actually stop Kiki from moving. So in that case, swap is not quite doing what I want. How do we do this? Kiki is move, Skull is swap, Bug is push. We have access to the full set of transformations. But one of my limitations, I think, is that I don't have the ability to selectively transform one of these Miis. If I'm transforming either one of them, the other is also going to be transformed. Correct? There's no on or any other sort of way to conditionally transform one of them. So me is going to get turned into something. I mean, me getting transformed into something means that both Miis will get transformed. So how would this, what would a useful Skull being swap? Feels like that has to be pretty consequential. Where would that need to go? If we transformed... Okay, something I'm realizing is the fact that we have this other Kiki text could potentially allow for some interesting things. That Kiki is already moving, which is not really what I was interested in so much as I wanted to do this. No, this is not doing what I think it does. No, I was thinking I have to do this differently. What I wanted to do was say something like Kiki is Skull. If I say Kiki is Skull, and then I say me is Kiki, this kind of... Oh, it does that. So really, if I'm wanting to do what I'm thinking of here, I need to sort of... all I was thinking of was the fact that the level is allowing us to kind of transform back and forth, but it's really not doing anything other than just delaying the inevitable. It's just delaying things by a time step. It's not really... Unless it allows us... Oh, wait a second. What if this allows us... So now we're at the beginning. So what if we say we don't have any Kikis or Skulls right now? What if we simply say Kiki is Skull and Skull is Kiki? I don't know if I'm gonna have enough time to do this. No. Oh, I see. Right. It's going to... Right. So do I need to actually deactivate this? Is this... If I go like this... I don't actually still have time to get up there. What I was thinking of doing... I was thinking that I might, if Skull is swap, that might be a way that I can I was thinking of using Skull is swap to maybe shift down the moving Kiki, the Kiki slash Skull, as it's sort of transforming back and forth. While it's a Skull, swap and get it down onto this row where the is positioned. However, that still breaks the phrase. It still breaks this phrase. I was thinking that maybe I could like align Baba is you one column to the left, or the Baba. Yeah, I was thinking maybe if I could shift that phrase one column to the left, then having a Kiki moving back and forth on this row with the is would not break the phrase anymore. The problem is I had not thought forward enough to figure out how to move Baba is you one column to the left. That's actually not a trivial thing, and maybe it's not even possible. However, we might be on the lines of exploration. We might want to be thinking on this, along this line of transforming back and forth between Kiki and something. Because maybe we could do... We have this bug. Which I'm thinking I could put the bug somewhere and then transform it into Kiki. I was thinking maybe I could have that transform into a Kiki, and then it would move. It would act maybe as a delay to activate a phrase like Kiki is Skull is Kiki. I could have it set like right here, and then allow it to move to the right, bounce off the wall, come back this way, and then complete that Kiki is Skull is Kiki. And that would allow me time to sort of get up into position here to do the swapping with but that still runs into the problem of breaking this phrase Baba is you. That seems to be the big hurdle. Even if we are thinking in a world where we are toggling between Kiki and Skull, even if we're doing something like that, how do we not break Baba is you? How do we do that? We need this. I'm pretty sure we need this me to turn into a Kiki at some point in order for it to complete the phrase flag is win. But I need to somehow derail this me so that it doesn't actually break the phrase Baba is you. I can't actually transform anything into a bug, can I? That's something I'm just realizing. They're only allowing us to transform the bug into something else, not anything into a bug. So this bug, where do we put this bug in order for it to be useful to us? We could. We can obviously transform Bug into Kiki, and that allows it to move. We could transform Bug into a skull, which would allow us to do some swapping. Are there any cool tricks that we can do with swap? It has been some time since we've used swap, so I need to maybe think through again what it all allows us to do. All the ins and outs of swap. Maybe that's what we need to do, is just kind of start playing with and remembering, if I push a piece of text into the skull, then I can end up with the skull on top of me, or on top of Baba. And then a swap doesn't happen when I move away. If I'm pushing multiple pieces of text, the skull is always going to be facing the way that it's going to maintain its facing orientation regardless of where it gets swapped. Can we somehow swap these belts out of position? If I... Okay, what if I were to do something like this, where I have Bug becomes Kiki, so Kiki would be move, and the Bug would be moving like this. But then we transform Kiki into a skull. So what would be the easiest way to accomplish that? If Kiki is going to be... I'm trying to think if there's some funky stuff with swap that can happen as we maybe transform Kiki into a skull as it's passing through the belts. I don't quite know how that's going to work mechanically, so I kind of need to see it in action. So if I'm going to make Bug Kiki, then I kind of want Skull to be underneath. And then I can go like this. I actually need it to be in a slightly... I need to... Because I need to push the is. The is needs to get pushed out here. I actually can't get there in time. That's actually pretty... It's actually fairly tricky. Trying to activate that in the right way. Unless I put Skull here, but then how do I get... So maybe this is not a thing. It doesn't feel like I can mechanically switch from transforming the Bug into a skull and then transforming the skull into Kiki in time for it to... before it reaches the belts. And if that's the case, then it probably is an overcomplication to try to think about that. So what do we think about? This one is kind of the opposite of the last puzzle. The last puzzle, I just felt like I didn't have any options to consider. This one feels like there are tons of options to consider because there are so many permutations involving Kiki and me and Skull, and it can be a little overwhelming for my brain to try to focus on one at a time. But the fact that this bug is here at the start, and we know that we can't transform anything into a bug, does help maybe to focus on how they're giving us a bug for a reason, most likely. And the question is, what do we turn it into? We could turn it into Kiki, and it would be moving somewhere. Maybe it's as simple as having the bug like, what if we do, let's see here. If we were to say something like me is Kiki and because if I say bug is Kiki and then I go up here, I mean, I can let this play out. Me gets turned into Kiki, but I can't interact with Kiki at all. Kiki is not push. Kiki is move. And I don't have a way to keep this Baba is you intact. It's going to get broken somehow. So how do I utilize Skull? Because if I directly turn the bug into a skull, I don't think that gets me anywhere, at least not right away. Turning the bug into a skull. This has an issue, doesn't it? Because if I just come up here with... Yeah, I can't just say bug is skull with that at that point. I was trying to think of using the skull to somehow derail the me that's up here that's going to get transformed into a Kiki. But I can't just put the bug... I would have to put the bug here. And then this is using my one-time access to this area because I turned belt stop and now I can't go back in there. And I haven't actually done anything with that bug because, as we said about pieces of text that I try to push into this area, they're all stuck up against this wall. I can't actually push them up into the path of the oncoming me/Kiki. That's not what I'm doing with the bug, right? What am I doing with the bug? Why is this bug here? Oh, man. I was going to say this is bugging the hell out of me, but I would never make such horrible puns. I am not totally sure where to focus. Not totally sure where If I say that bug is me, that feels wrong. I don't think that feels like that gets us absolutely nowhere. I think it's a question of whether bug is Skull or bug is Kiki. And the most promising one does feel like bug is Kiki, because it feels like we could set the bug up into a position the bug could be set up somewhere and allow us to do a transformation that is on a delay. This is a complicated one, and I'm also, I think, not quite seeing this one yet. So let's go ahead and just move on for now. We'll keep... I hate letting puzzles go, especially when it feels like we've got a lot of ads to explore, but also I am feeling a little bit overwhelmed by those potential paths, so we're gonna move on and try a different one. Let's see if we can just get something. I think if we are indeed at this stage of the game where we are coming to the finish line, then let's just keep iterating. These are going to be some tough puzzles. We're not necessarily going to solve them on the first try, as we've done with so many in the game, getting that fresh brain. That fresh brain methodology is one we should be sticking with. And don't worry about leaving a puzzle for later. It's just part of the process. Let's go back to what we had. Okay, that was rock, right? We transformed the rock into a level. Let's try Baba is level again, because that gives us two things to explore, two levels to explore. One thing I have not seen yet, I have not seen in either extra 1 or 2, we did not see the level keyword, right? So that's one of the things that I'm looking out for here. Maybe we should just check. Let's just check. Hidden Relic is our extra 3. Does this have the level keyword? I do not see level in this area. Let's check number 4 as well. And see if there is no level keyword. Did I just screw myself? Did I just screw myself? No, because I can do this. If there is no level keyword in number 4, buried treasure, that looks a lot like the other level that we just looked at. So I don't see the level keyword here. So maybe this is the end of the road. But we might have a level keyword in the other. There are still the bonus areas back in the question mark area, right? We have 5, 6, and 7, although we did complete 6. I don't remember if there are level keywords there, and we haven't looked at 5. So I'm just thinking about ways that there might be more puzzles still that we just have not seen. We still have, I forgot, there is Meteor Strike here in this. Maybe we should go here, because I actually think I have an idea. Let's do that. It's actually a little... Actually, maybe it's not tough to get this out from here. We just go like this. Wait a second. I'm apparently a dingus because I can just get to level 5 by going like this. Ooh, it says orb. It says orb? Okay, I have to satisfy my curiosity by looking at this. Because this level being called orb, it says secret. It doesn't even say 5. There's another bonus. Okay, this looks like a layup. Unless I am missing something, We have 2 layups here. We have orb being bonus. And then we have flag is win. And we now have 2 orbs. And that path goes down here. Maybe that is just an easy way for me to get the cursor lined up with Baba. Maybe that's all that this is. But this is now another little dotted line that is leading off to theoretically nowhere. And maybe that's it. Maybe that's the end of the line there, and it's all about just getting my cursor lined back up with Baba to allow me to navigate around the level. But it does make me wonder, is there more to the story here? Is there something we're missing? That is our second orb, though, our second bonus. That I was totally not expecting. Why was that such a layup? Was there more to the story here? I mean, we had to go through quite a bit to get access to this, right? We had to go through a pretty tough puzzle. The meta puzzle with crushers and turning level into text was not a cakewalk at all. But is there more we can do here? There's not really else anything we can do, right? Unless there's some hidden text or something. But yeah, this is just, okay. Congratulations, take your freebie, take your free orb and your free dandelion, because you managed to get here, and that was the challenge. Maybe there's more to the story. Remains to be seen. I'm having so much fun. This game, if we are closing in on the finish line, this game has been just amazing. Absolutely. My experience in puzzle games is not, I don't know if I've talked about this before. I guess I've talked a little bit about The Witness. For those who have played The Witness, if you have not played it, I highly recommend picking it up. Don't look anything up. It is one of those games where you don't want to know anything going in, and play it on your own, play it without looking anything up, and just enjoy. And that is my favorite puzzle game. The Witness is my #1 puzzle game. Another very close game, which is kind of has a crossover between people who like The Witness. People also really enjoy Outer Wilds. Those 2 games, Outer Wilds and The Witness, they're not really very similar, other than you really don't want to know anything about those games going in to play them, and they are just really special experiences in their own way. Those are like my #1 and #2 favorite puzzle games. Outer Wilds has a lot more going on than just, it's not a pure puzzler like Baba Is You, but regardless, I don't have a ton of other puzzle games that I have played, so I only have so much context in which to put these games, but Baba Is You has been a very, very special experience. It took me a long time to really sort of get into the game. I had tried to approach it a couple different times in the past, and I'm glad I finally gave it its due. I gave it a fair shot finally. I really, really dove into it, and it has been a blast. Now, this level, Meteor Strike. Let me just get a quick hydrate here. So this level, Meteor Strike, I think I was actually very close to last time, because I had an idea about how we were going to solve this, and then I felt like that idea fell apart, and that I was not getting where I wanted to go, except I think I was just being silly, overlooking what needed to be done. That I was right there on the cusp of solving the puzzle if I had just done my steps a little bit differently. I hope that's the case. Let's take a look here and see if I can actually get it this time, because I think we do want to put Flag is Fall into place like I had before. And am I running into the same problem, actually? I am running into the same problem, aren't I? Because the idea that I had before... was to say that I want to say that star is... I want to say that star is flag. Gosh, I think I actually have... I feel very silly right now because when I've been thinking about this puzzle off stream, I have felt like I have thought I have convinced myself that I was just missing it, that I just needed to do... No, I think I have been just missing it. No, but I haven't, because there's still multiple problems. I need... Yeah, okay. I can't just line up. Like, clearly I could line up. If I wanted to say star is flag, I could just put these letters here like this. I could say star is flag, and I could be ready to... I mean, I don't even need to be ready to complete it. I could just... Right. This is the problem that I'm having, is that the is... I've been thinking that, oh, I can just make belt is ghost. I can just make belt is ghost, and then I can just complete this phrase like this. I have room up here to push these letters into position. But the problem is I need, at some point before this, to have transformed belt into ghost. And in order to do that, I need access to this is. Right? If this is, and the issue with that is if I use that out here to say belt is ghost, then this is not here. It needs to be right here, does it not? Because I can't, if I'm trying to bring in the is after the fact, I actually can't line up. I can't line it up in this way. Yeah. Okay, so I actually don't have an idea on this. I feel, why is this? For some reason, my brain is just shortcutting because it's not actually having to sit here. When I'm looking at this puzzle or thinking about it off camera, I'm making this shortcut of, I can just say belt is ghost, and then I can say star is flag, but you have to actually walk through the steps of maneuvering this is. And so I have like, I've gone, it's funny because when I think about it off camera, I'm like, why am I being silly? I'm just missing this obvious thing of just pushing either an S or a T into position here. Just do that and win. And then I get to actually sitting down to deal with the puzzle, and I realize that's not even close to the solution. So I really need to think about this a little bit more carefully, and I'm not gonna do that right now. That is one we would like to check off our list at some point. We want to solve all the puzzles. But we want to first, I think, go back to... It does feel like we are getting down to the end, which is exciting. It's exciting, but also a little... When you're getting to the end of such a great game, you don't want it to stop. How do we get back to... We can just go like this. We can just go back to the depths this way. Now, let's check out those extra levels. Let's transform Baba. Let's transform Baba into level. And check out these two levels here. Sorry for the distractions, or not distractions, but these sidetracks into I'm a little, like I've said many times, my brain will be like the cat chasing the laser pointer. All of a sudden, the laser pointer shows up and I can't, oh, let me go check out what's over here. Let me go check out this thing that I had an idea about. We'll try and stay focused on this next puzzle though. Hidden Relic. Flag is win, as it often is, as it almost always is. But in this case, box has flag. And there is a box here. We need to find a way to get rid of the box. How do we do that? Boxes melt and text is melt. Tiki is hot. and lava is also hot. And then we have the ability to alternate between Baba is move and Kiki is move. Okay. We can alternate between Baba is move and Kiki is move. But I don't think we can alternate between anything. We can't say Kiki is you, I don't think. Kiki, the word Kiki is not going to fit in this column next to Baba is you. That doesn't seem like a thing we can do. Edges stop. Okay. So this is one where we don't seem to have a ton of options. How do we... If Kiki is not... Kiki is not... Oh, right. Okay, so things are a little bit weird when you are both you and move. But I think I got things to where I want it to be. Now, yeah, that's the thing. Kiki's not push. So me or Baba moving over Kiki doesn't actually... We could make none of us move. We need to melt the box, right? We need to melt... We need to melt the box. And Kiki is hot and lava is hot. How do we get Kiki around into this little curly cube to melt the box? The other thing here is that text is melt. Is there some way where we could say hedge is no longer stop? If we could get Kiki into this area here, there's nothing stopping us from transforming either Baba or Kiki. We could say Baba is Kiki or Kiki is Baba, but then we're sort of stuck with two of whatever we... It would probably have to be Kiki is Baba. But only Kiki is hot. So it feels like we either need to figure out a way to get Kiki to melt this is. Is that even a thing that can happen? Let me test something. Let's test whether... Because text is push, right? So if I put that is right there and I say Kiki is move, even though text is melt, a moving Kiki cannot actually be on the same square as text because text is push. So I actually can't melt that hedges stop, can I? At least I don't think so. Gosh, so what do we do here? Kiki is hot and lava is hot, but lava is not push. So I could melt some of my words here. I don't think I want to make Baba is move, actually. Like, I could melt one of these words by pushing them onto lava, but what does that do for me? This Baba is you. It is positioned like this, which suggests maybe there is some creative way to manipulate it by somehow moving. We've done things before where we've deactivated our is you phrase and then reactivated it with something that is moving. Like, I'm not even really seeing a naive solution that would just involve some straightforward... It's really actually... Is it even possible to simply have a moving Kiki? I guess the first thing that I can't really put my finger on is how would I get Kiki, this Kiki, how do I point Kiki to the left? I don't think I can actually just take this Kiki without transforming it or anything and actually point it to the left, because Kiki is not push. And even if I also say that Baba is move, even if I do that, like, it doesn't interact in that way. Am I forced? Where do I start then? Because if I transform Kiki into Baba, if I simply say that Kiki is Baba, I get 2 Babas, but neither one of those Babas is Melt. And now if I try to transform Baba back to Kiki, I don't have a U. Right? Is that what this boils down to? Is that I need to figure out actually how to... Oh. That might be the trick here, is actually having... If I maneuver the Babas maybe into this position here, could I maneuver them into here and then say Baba is move, but Kiki is you? I didn't probably explain that very well, but I'm wondering, could I position things, like, could I put the word Kiki here so that we would eventually make the phrase Kiki is you? The thing is that I would also need to complete the phrase Baba is Kiki, right? I would need that to become active at some point. Baba is Kiki would have to become a thing, would it not? And that is... I'm not sure how I would do that. I would need to do it now, wouldn't I? That's not the phrase. It would need to be Baba is Kiki. It does feel very suspicious that they have left this space here to where you are able to maneuver, you're able to do something with the is and the you, but you're not able to just take it, you don't have free reign. You can't just keep moving it as far as you want because the lava is here, and it is going to destroy that you if you don't do something with it right here. Maybe I'm not supposed to have both Babas back here. Maybe I only need one of them. Because I do have quite a few is keywords. I could actually set up one of the is keywords right here. Maybe that's the key. Is that I'm going to actually be... I think this might be it. we want to actually say, there's still a problem because I need Baba to be move. This might be okay though. Because what I can do, no, I can't do that. What I was gonna maybe try was I was gonna have Baba is move like this, and then I would have one of the Babas here pushing Baba is move, while the other starting to think ahead maybe a little bit. Having one Baba to push Baba is move. I just don't... I need a sequence, or what I'm thinking of is having a scenario where I'm pushing this U to complete the phrase, Kiki is you. But I also need to be completing the phrase, Baba is Kiki. And I need it, and the only way to do that is by having Baba be move. So that when I deactivate Baba is you, there's still stuff that is changing. But I feel like I need one more is. Do I need one more is? Can I set up Kiki somewhere else? The word Kiki. Can I put that somewhere to where this would actually work? This feels like it might be close. But I'm maybe missing something. I'm gonna restart. And I'm gonna hydrate. Well, I think. Because it does feel that we are kind of forced to... We really need, I think, to transform Kiki into Baba. That feels like that is a forced start. Because I cannot simply say, Kiki is you here. Is that true? Maybe that's not true. Maybe what I could do is I could engineer a scenario what if I could engineer the scenario that I was trying to do? Ah, maybe I didn't need that first step. Now the issue with this is that I need to be able, I've actually transferred control over to Kiki, which is good, but I need at this very next step to be able to, I think we can do this. I need to be able to deactivate Baba is move very quickly. So I think I actually made a mistake. They've given me an extra square before the lava, specifically because I can do this. I can actually put this one column over, and I can actually... I think I actually want Kiki to be in a different spot. Let's go back to Kiki's move one more time here. And that's where I want Kiki to be. Now, shit. Shit. That's not quite it. Not quite there. But gosh dang, that feels close. Can I... Can we do... What if we did something simpler to start? What if we do this? Aha! Now maybe I'm home free? Does it become trivial from this point? Let's go. All right. Oh, okay. Hidden Relic. You are done. Out of my game. 195 dandelions. That feels pretty good. Can we... We should be able to get our cursor back by going like this. There we go. We now are going to do that again. Let's do another level. Baba is level, that is. That was fun. Feels nice to be able to concentrate on particular lines and not get overcomplicated. Especially, we were starting down that road by thinking about duplicate, changing things into Baba, changing Kiki into Baba, and then changing back and getting into some really convoluted solution like we did way back with further fields. But it wasn't required, as it usually is not the case. When even the most complicated, even the most difficult puzzles are usually not that complicated. You overcomplicating them is almost always a sign that you're on the wrong track. Buried treasure. This level looks very, very similar, except there is one very key difference. There is a hedge right here in this spot. So that hedge being in that spot does complicate things, right? Because they've also filled in a hedge right here, which is interesting. I guess that might have been another way we could have done something else on the previous puzzle. We might have been able to... No, I don't think we could melt this with Kiki being you. All right, I don't think that hedge being there is as important as this hedge being here, because the solution that we had before, I think, is gone. We've now eliminated that solution. Because if I try to go and do... Right, I can't... If I put Baba is right here, I can't say Baba is move to the right. So they have taken away the easy solution. And so what does that leave us with? If we were to try to do the solution that we had before, did we try this? We tried the Kiki is you, right? We tried Kiki is you and Baba is move. Let's try it again. And I need to remind myself what was the problem with this. I don't immediately remember why this didn't work. But we want that to be... Oh, the reason this didn't work was because we can't break... We can go like this, but then this is too late. Breaking Baba Is move at that point is too late. That's why that doesn't work. So it looks like there's going to be a completely different solution for this one. We'll try to give this a good go here, but we are probably at the end of this session. But let's see what we can come up with, if anything. If we are not allowed, we have the same ultimate win condition as before. We have to maneuver a Kiki to the box. And I think the only way to do that is by saying that Kiki is you. I don't think there's any other way for that to be the case. Is that true? There's no way to get any text into this column here, right? So there's no funny business we can do. I guess we could get an is. I could get an is into this column like this. So I do have an is on this side, but I don't think that actually helps me. I really would need a Kiki over here. I don't think I can put the words Baba or Kiki into this column. We have to figure out how we're going to position text over here. And it really is probably going to still happen in this area because lava is hot and text is melt. So this is preventing us from pushing this U keyword beyond the lava. So we need to either say that Kiki is you, one thing we could do we could theoretically say that Kiki is move. And put this over here. But that's not what we need. We can't, we don't want Kiki is move, we want Baba is move. So this doesn't actually get us anywhere. I can't just go down here and push this U out of the way. We have to be... Don't we have to involve Baba is move somehow? Or are we going back to thinking about a scenario where we're saying Kiki is Baba to start? Is that where we need to be focusing our efforts? Are we doing some fancy... This was the initial solution that I was thinking about, was I wanted to come up with a scenario. I wanted to come up with a situation where Baba is move. I wanted to come up with Baba is move, but at some point also say Baba is Kiki. But I'm not sure we can quite do that. Not where we're also saying that Kiki is you. This is so weird when you have Baba is move like this. This one dang hedge. One stupid little hedge. And everything gets upended. Kiki is hot. Lava is hot. Boxes melt. Text is melt. The eventual win condition almost certainly has to involve Kiki is you. I don't think there's any other solution. There's no other ending or win condition, right? The win condition has to involve Kiki is you. Just because that's Baba is you doesn't get us there. We can't simply move Kiki into where the box is. You have to be in control of Kiki to turn. Move doesn't work. Move doesn't turn without you being in the picture. Could we... Could we do something where... Could we, like, get Baba here and then turn Baba into Kiki? Probably, but could we also do it where Kiki becomes you? That's the real obstacle. The real obstacle is how do we do things productively, but still hold on to AU? Because the only way that I'm seeing is the way that we did it before, where we have Kiki is... Is there anything anywhere else? Can we do some sort of a crisscross thing? If we had a crisscross here, Kiki is you, Baba is move. This one is a stumper at the moment. I'm resetting, but I'm not really going very far because I didn't do anything. Kiki is move. I'm going to keep exploring, starting with Kiki is Baba, just because I don't know where else I would start. If I do this... One of the original ideas that I had was to try to use both of these Babas. I was gonna maybe position both of them back here. And if I had Baba is move, there might be a way to... If I was gonna do that and then activate Kiki is you, the issue is I still need to transform the Babas back into Kiki. So if I put Kiki, I just don't think I have enough ises. That was the problem that I initially ran into on the previous puzzle. was having enough... Oh, that is... I don't actually... Well, if I want to say Baba is Kiki, I sort of need more than 2 Babas. Because I can have Baba is move. I can have Baba is move. Shit. I'm not sure that I can set up a scenario where I am with 2 Babas. One of them is changing from Baba is you into Kiki is you. And also having the other Baba moving to transform Baba into Kiki. Is that a scenario that I can maneuver? Don't think so. Not with 2 Babas. Maybe with 3 Babas. So I think for the moment, we're just going to have to go ahead and call it a day on this one because we're not quite seeing where we're supposed to go. And it is the end of a session. So as we always do, we rely on the fresh brain methods. We have made some very good progress, though. We managed to make it through Crushers and get access to the level keyword, which is what we wanted to do. And that basically opened up the rest of the depths. And maybe the rest of the game. Maybe we are now at the spot where all we have are this handful of puzzles. Let's actually count. So we have 1 that we have not solved yet. We did manage to solve, I guess, the rock. No, we did not solve the rock, right? The rock was number 2. We managed to solve number 3. So we have 1, 2, and 4 that are unsolved. If we go back to the question mark level, we did solve 5, but that was a gimme, right? That was a layup. We've solved 6, but we have not yet solved 7. And then we still have Meteor Strike. That, I think, is 5 puzzles. And that would give us actually 200 dandelions exactly. I'm just thinking, is that the number? Is that the actual total number of puzzles in the game? I don't want to know. Don't tell me. I still want to stay in the dark here until I feel like I'm at the point where I just need some confirmation, but I'm not there yet. I'm just kind of looking over, but it feels like we only have 5 actual puzzles left to solve. So unless something else occurs to me in terms of other things that we can access, I think we're almost at the finish line. But these are still going to be some tough ones. We're going to try to work through and hit them with the fresh brain treatment. But for now, I think that's a good session. So we're going to call it there for this installment of Baba Is You. And we'll try to get back next time and solve some more. Oh my gosh, are we really close to the end? That realization dawning on me is, as I've been saying the whole time, exciting and also disappointing, but you always are going to get there at some point where it's time to move on from a game, but we're not there yet. I'm going to stop talking and bid you all adieu. Thank you all very much for joining me, and I hope to see you in the next one.